We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV Dalmascian Braves, which I think I misspelled on the overlay now that I'm looking at it.
Nailed it. Good.
I was looking at the overlay. I was like,
"There's a great start."
I'm looking at the overlay. I was like, there should be an S there.
One sentence in, we've done it again.
The overlay says Dalmascian Braves. All right.
I want to play that game. That game sounds fun.
I'll fix
Dalmascian.
that. I can fix that shortly. But while I'm working on that, hello everybody. I'm John. I'm your game master as we take a dive into this Final Fantasy XIV game. Joining me today is William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Faust Toll Darkanan, the Garlean Gunbreaker.
Currently operating out of a cave in an echo factory. And weirdly, as you're echoing so much, but at the same time, the noise cancellation is catching you and you're losing some parts of the sentence.
I'm not convinced we're only hearing the echo.
And also, Elle.
Hi, my name is Elle, and I am playing Rowena Brown, the Midlander dancer.
Yes. Operating to us this week from their phone because everything else decided to break.
Straight out of, 1972.
And also Cody.
Cody. I'm playing Naren Malagould, Al-Ra White Mage.
And Andrew.
Hello, I'm Andrew, and I'll be playing Mikoko Miko, the Lalafell Red Mage.
Mikoko Miko. It's just a fun name to say.
Lalafell are great.
Dalmascian. Alright, I fixed it.
Isn't the C supposed to be a K?
No. And Sam.
I am Sam. I'm playing Blount Tofskifson, a Rogadin Seawolf Dragoon.
We're never going to say that last name again, so if you missed the pronunciation, too bad. And as soon as
I've got it
the
easy.
Nordic Swedish emphasis on all of it.
It's a Welsh name.
Blount Tofskifson.
It's a Welsh name, Blount Tofskifson.
I should also point out, by the way, John, that apparently you have not fully updated that change because I'm looking at the stream right now and it still says Dalmascian.
Well, yeah, no, I just hit the button right now. I fixed when I said I've added the S in, that was in Photoshop, and now I've hit save as PNG, and now it's updated.
Now it shows up. Yes.
So the Dalmacus run is cancelled.
Yes, the Dalmacus run is canceled.
Darn.
That's the one I signed up for.
So, let me pull up let me pull up the thing that I need to read, because there's reading in this game.
Dun, dun,
Brace for
Grim
Hawk's
Dark's
text.
future. There is only war.
Incoming
No, wrong
box
game?
text.
Yes, incoming.
Infestations.
Where is it? There. Nope.
Two Jedi Knights were dispatched to negotiate
All
trade
right.
agreements.
The year is 1572 of the 6th Astral Era. The Garlean Empire is currently invading the lands of Eorzea and threatening the world with Project Meteor, a project led by Nail Van Darnus of the 14th Legion. No, 7th Legion. 7th Legion. Nail Van Darnus of the 7th Legion, which threatens to drop the lesser moon of Dalamud onto Eorzea in an effort to wipe out Eorzean resistance to the Garlean invasion. This project culminates beneath the reddened skies of Cartano, where the Battle of Cartano commences. On that battlefield, several individuals of various allegiances come together in an effort to stop the hastening destruction of the world. They are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, led by Louiseau Levalier, an old Elysian man who communes with the goddess Heidelin and all of her aspects, the 12. In addition to Louiseau and the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, there are also a small handful of individuals brought together by fate, circumstance, and coincidence, battling on the field of Cartano underneath the blood-red sky as the moon of Dalamud continues to crash down, threatening ever closer your destruction. We have one gunbreaker, a former Garlean loyalist, who's turned against his homeland in an effort to save the world. William, please introduce and describe Faust Tol Darkanen.
Faust Tol Darkanen is a tall, pale-skinned Garlean with long white hair that reaches just about down to the center of the breastplate that he wears. His eyes are a pale violet, and he wears this very striking black and faintly bluish armor with gold trim, bedecked with the symbols and markings of Garlean artifice, wearing this purplish headband over his third eye with a crystalline inset as a lens for it. He stands quite tall. He towers over most individuals near him, just with his sheer height, and is not slender by any means. Very broad of build and deep of voice. His commanding presence is one of the things that elevated him to the rank of second in command in the former Garlean Legion of his previous allegiance.
And as this large Garlean cuts down other Garleans, leading the charge of the Eorzean forces, fighting alongside him, decked in the red of the Alamegan Red Mages. Andrew, please introduce and describe Mikoko Miko.
Mikoko is a young Lalafell woman, just over 3 feet tall, with solid blue eyes, the slightly tanned skin of an Alamegan native, and slightly uneven black hair that would be considered scruffy if it weren't held back with a headband. She wears simple leather armor with beneath a deep red overcoat and traveler's cloak, and carries a small rapier in one hand. Well, small for anyone other than a Lalafell. In her other hand is a blue gemstone focus. And we're in the middle of a fight right now, yes?
Yes.
So, at present, she has combined the two into a makeshift staff, and is using that to blast faceless Garlean soldiers.
Yeah, so spells are being flung, swords are being swung. Nearby, focusing on the support and healing and mending of the Eorzean warriors who are fighting for their lives against this Garlean horde, Cody, please introduce and describe Naren Malaguld.
Standing probably above everybody, but from the back, he is dressed in browns and reds, accents, white robe, and he's using a staff. He's got dark hair, or sandy brown, that darkens towards the ends, hair, and is using a staff that has a gem set in the middle crook.
Mm-hmm. So, centered around these three are sort of the center of the Eorzean front line at the moment, with Faust taking on all comers, Mikoko dancing around, blasting them alongside Faust, and Naren keeping the two of them alive. But they're not the only ones on the battlefield, as nearby from the skies, like a comically oversized bear, comes crashing down onto an enemy. Sam, please describe and introduce Blount Tofskifson.
Ooh, very good. A every bit of 324 pounds without his armor lands directly on the face of whoever it happened to land on. Standing 7'1", a young a young Blount Tufts Gibson with a gigantic pompadour, blue skin, goldish eyes, wearing the red and black of the maelstrom, is frantically trying to find where his artillery shots should be landing.
And off to one side, having been supporting another individual, but now flinging chakrams to the best of her ability in an attempt to stay alive, we have Elle. Please introduce Rowena Brown.
Yep. So Rowena is 5'3" on a good day. Very fair skin, lightly freckled, wearing silk clothing that you would not expect to see anywhere near a battlefield, and with shoulder-length red hair, just styled just so, except for the current action, which is very much messing up her aesthetic.
Frizzy hair a-flying. As the battle continues on, there is a moment of strange quiet and calm as both sides, both the Eorzean and the Garlean forces, stop for a moment, as the air around you hums and heats up. You all find your attention drawn directly above you, looking at the ever-looming moon of Dalamud, which is looming even closer than you had realized it could possibly have gotten. And there is just this electric pause throughout both sides of the fighting, before a cracking sound is heard as the moon explodes, and you see strange magic-technical glowing aspects of the moon come rocketing down into the earth, slamming into the lands of Eorzea and beyond, causing the ground to upheave and crumple beneath their force. As things land and hit, Narin, just sort of instinctively, you raise your staff as Louisoix raises his own in addition, and this large blue hexagonal bubble of energy shields the group of you and the Eorzeans by your sides from the onslaught of the falling moon. And you watch as from this cracked, yet still floating or falling, carapace of a moon emerges the largest dragon any of you have ever seen. This massive creature, which could only be known as Bahamut, the king of dragons, unleashes a mighty roar and a beat of its wings, which flattens the Garlean army beneath it just by the sound alone, as bits of the moon continue to fall down. You see Louisoix raise his staff once more as a brilliant sigil of light engulfs Bahamut, looking almost like a miniaturized version of the moon, this brilliantly light blue colorization, as Louisoix succeeds in summoning the 12 gods of Eorzea. Represented by large crystalline symbols, they surround and engulf Bahamut, seeming to attempt to trap and contain this raging dragon, who, after but a moment, simply smashes through them, destroying the last and best hope of the Eorzean forces to stop the oncoming calamity. You watch as Bahamut breathes fire down on Cartno, as the combination of his wrath and the moon's destruction litters the ground with death and dying. And then you feel light. As you look around yourselves, there is this aura of blue energy that's beginning to engulf you. And you realize somebody is casting some kind of teleportation spell on you, and at least one of you, Faust, turns your head to look at the overhanging cliff where Louisoix is standing. And you see his mouth move, but you don't hear what he says, as all of you are engulfed in blue and vanish. You all, individually, begin to come to consciousness sometime later. You've no idea how much time has passed, but you simply are aware that you were asleep. And you feel weightless. A ringing crystalline voice echoes in your ears. Here. You open your eyes. All of you find yourselves floating in an empty void of blue light, in the midst of which is a large blue crystal. Something being orbited by 12 smaller crystals, obviously cut from the same source. This massive crystal dwarfs all of you. You are but specks in its presence.
I mean, that's not hard.
Even the largest of you. You all instinctively recognize the depiction of Heidelin, the mother crystal, the name of the planet you live on, but also the name of its soul. As this voice echoes in your brain. Hear. Feel. As you rotate around Heidelin in awe at her majesty, darkness takes your vision, and you find yourselves separate from the mother crystal, standing alone, and yet aware of the presence of others. You are dressed now no longer in the outfit that you were previously, but in a fantastical regalia that seems almost designed for your specific talents. As across from you, a dark doorway appears, and from it a black-robed figure wearing a bright red mask that looks almost like a demon's face steps out and confronts you. Hear, feel, think. And you know that this figure is your enemy. You don't know why, you don't know who they are, but you know they're your enemy. And as you ready your weapons to fight, your body remembering the motions of combat, your sense of self is engulfed in a brilliant blue light. Hear, feel, think. And the blinding blue light begins to fade, giving way to a desert of some kind. Sort of a rocky, craggy exterior that you find yourself standing in, overlooking a vast plain of scrubland, and yet further beyond that, a massive city. All of you make a dexterity saving throw for me. Elle, do you need me to make that roll for you, or you got it? Oh, you got it. Okay, cool.
I'm a goddamn ninja. 18.
21.
Mikoko, instinctively, you leap up and grab at something that almost flies past you. And as you land, all of your attention is sort of drawn to Mikoko. Mikoko, you are holding in your hand this effervescent, fiery, glowing plume of a phoenix. You have one tuft of phoenix down. And you are all aware of each other, of where you're at, though not precisely certain where that is geographically. You also notice that all of your armor is completely damaged, like beyond repair.
That was not pleasant.
I just bought this armor. I just bought this armor. Are you kidding me?
These were nice robes.
Mikoko doesn't say anything, but she looks at looks at the phoenix down in her hand, then at all of you, and then around its the surroundings. Are there any large objects nearby?
Off in the distance, you can see a city, but nearby, the largest object is a large pillar of what looks almost like obsidian. It's sort of like oddly shaped up, like single pillar of stone, just in the middle of this sort of scrubland that you find yourselves. It's about 10 feet away from you.
Mikoko drops the phoenix down and dashes over to that pillar and sits down hard.
Faust will kneel down and pick up the phoenix down. We shouldn't drop this. We need it. Puts it away.
Get her bearings.
You all feel weak. Significantly weaker than you did at the Battle of Cardinal. Narin, you're reaching for the magics that you had been using what feels like moments ago, and none of it's coming to you.
Would you say roughly 19 levels weaker?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I hate the level squish. No. That's... What? As I look to see... I'll pull out a handful of... I have a sprig. I'll pull out a sprig from my pouch and cast Good Berry.
The small sprig suddenly fruits, and the fruits drop into your hand.
Everybody take one of these. It should help a little bit, but it's all I can muster right now.
I'm dreadfully sorry, but who are you?
One of the ones that was keeping everybody alive.
You're all from the battle, right? Yeah. Yeah.
His name is Naran Malagul.
Yes, Naran.
Yeah, the three of you, Naran, Mikoko, and Faust would have known each other's names, but the other two were completely separate from you for the most part.
My name is Faust Tol Darkanen.
Which all of you recognize as the Garlean name.
Who were the people that we were just fighting.
Yeah.
But he wasn't on the wrong side.
No, dreadfully sorry. I don't think I'll be remembering that. Is there anyone else around? Where is... I'm trying to look for my friend that I was with.
Make a history check for me while you're looking around.
Uh, 13.
You're trying to recall your friend that you were with, and all you're getting is you can see their clothes, you can see what they were wearing, you can see they were a Huer of some description, but you cannot recall their face, and you cannot recall their name. Which strikes you as odd.
Yeah, just a bit.
We should make our way back to Cartana. We seem to have been teleported away from it.
Well, I think by the time we get back to Cardano, it's going to be a bit too late to do whatever we want to do.
That dragon is still rampaging, yes, but we need to be doing something.
As you look up...
Yes, we need to be anywhere other than there.
As you look up thinking about that dragon and the moon, Dalamud is nowhere to be seen in the sky.
I mean, that's not surprising considering the moon exploded and the dragon came out.
Yeah, but you're pretty certain you'd be able to see that moon from miles away if you were anywhere near Cardinal.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't matter if we were on another continent. We'd still see the moon in
you would still
very close proximity to land.
Oh yeah, you would still be able to see some aspect of it, but nothing.
We need to get our bearings before we head off.
This obelisk, is it tall?
Yeah, it's about 10 feet tall. It's not really an obelisk. It looks like a naturally occurring rock formation, but just a naturally occurring rock formation that's just standing straight up out of the ground rather than part of any other formation.
Let's see if we can find out where the hell we've ended up.
Anyone who wants to can make a survival check.
I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bad at those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm real good at them in the ocean. If there was wet around us, it would be a different story.
It's so dry.
Not so big on sand.
It's so dry. Anyone
I got
else?
14.
Yeah, is anyone else picking that roll? or
I
is it
did
just those two?
terrible.
Not me.
I have a -1 to survival. Thanks.
Narin, this actually makes sense for you to succeed on this. As you look around, Narin, you feel like you recognize this location somehow. And as you're thinking about it, and you're looking out, and you see that city off in the distance, you're in Dalmasca, which is in Althard, south of where you grew up, where you were born.
Yeah.
Which is very, 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 very far away from Cardno.
Quick universe question,
Yes.
if I may interject.
Mhm.
Is the world flat?
No.
Okay.
It is round. It is known to be round.
Just
as well.
checking. Okay.
I mean, that was going to be my next follow-up. Is it actually round or is it something else?
It is round and it is known
Is it
to
a
be round.
tube? It's like a Civ 6 game where it's a tube, except the top and bottom don't connect, right?
No.
Well, Taurus. Every Final Fantasy world is a donut.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
14 must be jelly filled.
Narin, you're pretty certain
That's-
you're in Dalmasca.
Yeah, this is... Well,
Which
I have an idea of where we are. This is Dalmasca.
as
We're...
to your last recollection, Garlean occupied Dalmasca.
Yes.
That's the wrong continent and behind enemy lines.
Yes, quite a distance.
So what do I know of Dalmasca in terms of the sort of higher-ups?
So you know, as far as you're aware, Dalmasca is a land in the Far East. That is fairly sort of desert-esque. Sort of situated on a wasteland, known to be the ruins of an ancient kingdom that once spanned the globe. The ancient kingdom of Ivalice was once based there. That's pretty much all you would know from your time in Eorzea, or in Aldenard, which is the name of the continent that Eorzea is on. There's not a lot of, because it's a Garlean because it's been a Garlean occupied country for a while. There wasn't a lot of interaction in social circles between where you're from, between Ul'dah and Dalmasca.
No, that won't do at all. They're far too historical and poor.
To see if we find our way back to anywhere. The other
I'm going to close my eyes and wish to be somewhere else.
You do that.
Unfortunately,
Make a wisdom saving throw. William, by the way, could you adjust your name in Roll20 so that you have 3 lines instead of 4? Just because it's dipping down just below the overlay, and I can't hide it.
So that's a 14.
So you close your eyes and wish real hard, but you can still hear Faust as he's talking. I'm pretty certain it didn't work.
Also, even with 3 lines, it's not hiding from the overlay.
I fixed it.
Well, do I know of any? Is the Malagul clan farther north of Dalmasca?
Yeah, the Malaguld are in the Azim Steppe, which is to give you an idea. Let me get on the thing over here.
The font. Messy maps.
You guys are here. That's Dalmasca. The Azim Steppe is up here on the other side of Doma.
Oh, cool.
Climb a mountain, go through a valley, climb another mountain.
You don't want to go through that
valley.
We're
in Oregon, and we need to go to Montreal.
That's the burn. You don't want to go through the burn.
Secret tunnel through the mountain.
Oh, secret tunnel.
You would want to go. You'd want to go around the mountain up through Doma if you wanted to get there. But
I wish the Final Fantasy map font was not nigh impossible to read on the brown background.
Wait, that says Doma?
Yes.
And not C-O-M-E?
Yeah, that's Doma.
That does say Doma.
The D is backwards. And then the A is very stylized.
As is tradition.
All right. And also backwards.
Wait, there's a map? Look, I have very limited real estate to deal with.
We could, if we want to avoid Dalmasca, we could try to make our way up to the Azim Steppe above Doma and link up with the Malagul to see if they might know how this could have happened. We are so far away.
Surely you don't want to walk all that way. We just
Do you know a better way?
We should see if we can
hire a boat.
Difficult to say in Garlean territory. We should see if we can perhaps commandeer a Garlean land. Might get us there faster.
Yeah, the closest port is Valnain, which is this one over here south of Dalmasca.
Oh man.
And you'd have to cross a whole lot of wasteland to get there. But you can see what Naren you know to be the royal city of Rabanastre, just north of where you are. You're on sort of a ridge next to this large black pillar. And you can see the largest city in the area, which is Rabanastre, just to the north of you. And you can see there are Garlean airships floating about.
Getting a Garlean ship.
No, they look like they're docked at Rabanastre.
Okay.
Getting a Garlean ship will be difficult if our names have been known this far out, but we might be able to take some Magitech armor and use it to traverse the countryside much faster.
Are you a real big shot, I guess? Because my name is barely known outside of my village.
Prior to my defection from the Garlean Empire, I was second in command of the Garlean 14th Legion.
Okay. All right. So what do we got? Do we have our own Garlean floating ship just waiting for you to whistle, or how does this work?
I did say that I defected from the Garlean Empire. If
And
my
you didn't
name is known in
bring
this
anything
area,
cool?
I brought my talents and an association with one Sid. But if my name is known in this area, it will be kill on sight.
Do you have a pseudonym you like to use?
You all do notice that Mikoko has been sitting very quietly by that stone this whole time.
Yep, she's just been sitting there watching, turning to each of you as you start speaking up.
We'll deal with that as we come to it, but hopefully my knowledge of Garlean military and procedures will help us in acquiring some form of transport.
Good
Do you have any
plan.
ideas,
Good
little
plan.
one?
Sorry, what was that, Narn?
He turned to Mikoko and asked if she had any plans.
Mikoko flinches.
Are you alright, Mikoko?
I don't know.
Well, we'll
Oh.
certainly be less alright if we stay here to waste away in a desert.
Right. Yes. Well, you know more about this place than I do, so
Let's see if we can view of the city and see what it looks like.
Does it look different than the last time I saw it, Ravenaster?
I mean, the last time you saw Ravenaster was like 15 years ago, so yes, it definitely looks different. But, you know, you would expect that.
Yeah.
What I have seen Ravenaster at point, or the 14th Legion never really went there.
No, the 14th Legion was mostly occupied with the Eorzean invasion. You know that Ravenaster was at the last time you checked, Ravenaster was the district of the 4th Legion. I'm sorry, yeah, it was the district of the 4th Legion.
Isn't that the Emperor's old legion?
No. I don't think so. Maybe it was. It's the name that you know is hang on. The name you know is Bach. I think it is. Yeah, the name you know is Bashgan van Gabranth.
Ah, yes.
I'm going to look up at Mikoko. You there? Pint size, are you useful?
What?
Can you speak? Do you do anything?
Mikoko's eyes widen as she throws the pack off her back and starts rummaging through it.
And Rowena's dead before you even get to Ravenaster. As you're rummaging through, Mikoko, you notice that any perishables that you have are dust in your bag.
Oh no. No, it's got to be here somewhere.
What is?
Working.
What are you looking for in your bag?
The 2 sets of tools that I have and my soul crystal.
Yeah, you do manage to find both of those.
Oh wait, no, I have 3.
Sorry, all 3 of those. Sorry, all 3 of those.
Right. Yes, useful. Still rather timid, she pulls out the 3 packs of tools that she has in her bag, specifically a set of cooking tools, a large fabric pack containing needles, thread, and spare bits of cloth, and a set of lockpicks.
As fast as checking over his equipment.
So yeah, in
Most
addition,
of my munitions are gone. Can't seem to recall their formula. Is anyone else missing significant parts of their experience?
Yes, most of my magic.
and
Quite frustrating.
as you all begin to think on it, you can't remember, except for Louis Soir, you can't remember any of the people that you fought alongside. And you can't and as you're looking through your things, any perishables that you had in your bag, like rations, gone.
We definitely can't stay here without rations. How long have we been gone?
And just think of what this sun's doing to my skin. Look, are we going anywhere? Because we need to start moving.
We do. Let's see if we can get any sort of idea of what the state of the city is in. Names, all of you.
I beg your pardon?
What is your name?
You don't know?
I wouldn't be asking if I did.
He's not from around here. I don't know
Neither
your
are
name
you.
either.
That's hardly inexcusable. That's... Rowena.
Rowena.
The only
Very
Rowena,
well.
Faust, the only Rowena that comes to mind, to your mind, is a very severe market lady from Mordona.
I'll keep that in.
Like, this is not that Rowena.
And you, large friend, looking for a plow.
Large indeed. The name is Blunt Toffskipson.
Right. I'll remember that. And again, I am Faustol Darkanen. This is Naren Malaguld and Mikoko Miko.
Mikoko doesn't look up as she's repacking her bag.
No, sorry, all gone. Sorry, your name again?
You'd better work on remembering it while we're journeying, he says as he starts to walk towards Radavaster, or whatever the name of the city is.
Rabanaster.
Rabanaster,
Wait.
that's it.
Wait, is that your real name or your pseudonym?
We'll find out if I need a pseudonym shortly.
Maybe we should lead with the pseudonym if, you're kill on sight and we're associated with you.
That's fair.
If we're to figure out what's happened. Staying alive, pretty integral.
So.
Well, I mean, as long as I survive, of course. The rest of you, we'll see.
Do I know who Rowena is?
Not a clue.
Cool. Just checking.
Yeah, that tracks.
Not even a roll. Not a clue.
For now, if anyone asks of our names, you may call me Furiel on Descartes.
Do they normally ask for all three?
You might need.
Yes, actually.
Oh.
Garleans, man. So
yeah, what are you gonna do?
You sort of start moving towards the only city that you can see, and as you get to a closer ridge, near to the city, you get a better view. You can see that there are many Garlean banners hanging from the walls as you approach, and that there are some rivers flowing south towards where you are. they're very very thin and they die out very quickly. But you get the impression that Rabanastre is sitting on some sort of an oasis, probably, which would explain the size of the city and why it's the only one in the vicinity, considering the surroundings. As you get closer, but well before you're spottable by anybody like, manning the gates or anything, Faust, you see the banners hanging from the wall are for the 8th Imperial Legion.
The city is changing.
Yes, quite a bit since been here, but it's been over a decade for me.
Last I heard, it was the command of Bash van Granth of the 4th Imperial Legion. I don't know anyone in the 8th.
Your voice is cutting in and out again, William.
Last I heard, the city was under the command of Bash van Gabranth of the 4th Imperial Legion. I don't know anyone in the 8th.
Is that bad news? It seems like good news. If you don't know anyone, no one will know you, right?
It increases the odds, but does not make them 0.
Yeah, the 14th
Depends
was a
on
very
how
well-known
quickly.
legion.
Yeah, the 14th are well known. Our feats are something that the Guardian Legions aspire to.
How recently?
My defection did not go quietly.
Yes,
Blunt
how
stares at your
recent was
feet.
that defection?
To my knowledge, I would say like less than a couple of years, right?
Yeah, it's at least a year.
It would have been at least a year ago, but not much longer than that.
It depends on how quickly they disseminate that you've defected then.
Gaius von Balsar, my Legion commander, was of mixed mind of my departure, but I imagine Nero Tolskeva was, now likely Tol. Nero was likely very happy to see me take over my position.
So, you continue on towards Rabanastre. Eventually, you approach what you determine to be the south gate of the city. And you see ahead of you a long line of people. Notably, mostly Hures. As you look around, you do see a few non-Hurian and non-Garlean individuals, but they are very, very few. And they all seem to come from one of two what you would determine to likely be beast tribes, and you've Naren, make a nature check. Since you're literally the only one who would recognize them.
I recognize everything. 7.
You recognize the Banga, who are these humanoid lizard-like individuals with sort of flappy ears and pointed snouts. You do not recognize the others. They look kind of like if pigs stood up on their hind legs and started walking around, but also had horns.
Okay.
Sorry, I just looked up the Garlean hierarchy to sort of correct and make sure I had the right rank. It would actually be Peer rather than Owen for someone who looks as intimidating as Faust does. So it'd be Furio Peer Descartes for a veteran soldier rather than your standard line trooper, because he does not look like a line trooper.
How are we spelling Benga?
Banga, Bangaa.
That's what I've put in. I haven't gotten anything fun. Okay. Oh, yes. The sad monks. Gotcha.
If you're looking,
You'll have to excuse my my only point of reference for Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy Tactics. So that's the sad monk who kept dying because I kept throwing them in places that they should not have survived.
And
So they didn't survive.
No.
Is this line for anything important, or shall we just ignore it?
Well,
Kinda
for
need
getting
to
in.
get in.
Did I say it doesn't look like a line into the city?
Yeah, you can see at the other end of the line, Faust, there are Garlean troops. What look like Lictum, which are the sort of the city guards / police of the Garlean Empire. And it looks like they are inspecting everyone that's going through.
With my knowledge, do I think that we'd be able to just walk through, just giving names and passing on, or
They
would we
would.
need to try and find a different way in?
They would look through your luggage, and you don't want them to look through your luggage.
Yeah, okay. So, we don't want to go in through that front entrance. We should try and find another way in if we want to enter the city. Otherwise, we need to enter the city. We have no ration to survive any amount of days wandering this wasteland.
Well,
Oh,
so
John?
long as I can cast this and the spell that I did earlier, we should be fine for food and sustenance. But getting inside,
We would likely still perish in the heat.
Yes, Sam.
How tall are these walls?
Looking up, about 150 feet straight up.
He can't
Okay.
jump them.
Well, so
Yes.
my jumping ability, if I land on something bigger than a medium-sized creature, I can try and climb it.
You're pretty certain. Looking at the walls, you're sort of judging your ability to climb these walls. You're pretty certain you can't. There's no handholds on
Okay.
it. Like it's sheer flat
Okay.
concrete, basically. Like it's sandstone. It's
Ah.
like flat. It's like flat-lined sandstone.
well, here's the thing. The water is leaching out into the desert. We can find where it's leaching out from. That's another way in.
What I know just from military research, if Dalmasca has any entrances,
You are cutting in and out again.
would I know just from like military research if Dalmasca has any other entrances or anything?
It has 3
Entrances?
You know that Dalmasca has 3 entrances. It's got the 4 technically. It's got the south gate, the east gate, and the west gate. And the west gate also has an aerodrome, which is where the airships are docked. But outside of that, what Narin said is probably accurate. Like if there's a river coming out, if the town is built on an oasis and there are rivers coming out of it, you could probably follow the rivers.
Following the rivers might be our best course of action. Let's see what we can find.
I'm going to approach the front of the line just to see if I can try my luck.
You stopped well back away from the gates to observe. So you would have to walk up to the line first to then approach the front of the line.
Yeah, I mean, if we're starting to move, I would try to break off towards just the front of the line.
Okay, so Rowena begins to head towards the gate while you guys are talking, basically.
We could find a
Ro-
boat, maybe.
Rowena, I would not recommend trying it.
Why?
Because they will search your belongings. And if I'm not mistaken, you have things that you would rather they not see.
Well, I mean, I can always make them pay for seeing my unmentionables.
You are one of the warriors from the Battle of Cartano, yes?
I'm more of an acquaintance.
Do you possess one of the soul crystals that those leading the front of this battlefield possessed?
Oh, this thing, pulls it out of the bag.
Yeah, so Rowena produces this small pink, looks almost like a shield that's been chiseled out of crystal with a symbol glowing in the middle of it.
Yes. If they see that on you, or in your possession, you will be taken in.
So I will get into the city then.
In chains.
I hardly think that would be necessary. I would go along willingly, just to get out of the sun.
To a swift execution, then.
I rip off my sleeve from my tattered robes and hand it to Rowena.
Oh, thank you. Just, pinch it, trying to touch it as little as possible.
Use it to cover yourself. It will help.
The point I'm making here is that those who bear the soul crystals are symbolic of the enemies of the Garlean Empire. If you are not a warrior in their service and you have one of these, you are a target.
Oh no.
And with that, Naren pulls the crystal that's hanging off of his staff, with the loop that it's hanging off of, and actually puts it up in his hair, underneath the top, and ties it in, and then puts the hair back over it.
Yeah, so you all can see him manipulating this small white egg-like crystal that has a glowing staff in the middle of it.
Faust sort of pulls open the breastplate to show that there is the Gunbreaker soul crystal is sort of stashed in a slot in the center of the inside of the breastplate.
As you pull
so
open,
that it can't go far from
open the front of the breastplate, you hear a metal creaking sound, and you realize you just snapped the front of the breastplate off.
all of this armor requires maintenance.
I was going to say perhaps I would trust your judgment, but evidently...
This armor is far more worn than it should be. And look across everyone. All of your equipment was in peak condition when we were on the battlefield.
It was brand new, is what it was.
A scale,
serviceable.
a scale falls off Blount's scale mill. Tink, 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 tink.
So I was just wearing clothes.
Which have holes in them.
This is far more. Something is wrong. This is far more wear than should have been present.
I'm not big on teleport spells. Is this normal? This seems a bit excessive.
No, it's not.
If you will,
being a smith and, a gunbreaker, is it possible to take a guess at how much wear and tear equivalent to a certain range of time might be appropriate to his armor?
Give me a Smith Tools check using your intelligence.
Just once, I want a Smith Tools check using Constitution. How many times
17.
can you hit your thumb before you give up?
With 17, look at the state of disrepair your armor's in, and everyone else's gear's in. This looks like if this armor had been left out in the sun for at least a year. It's hard.
This is more than a year's worth of damage.
Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly how long because at a certain point it just becomes metal.
Yeah. This is more than a year's worth of damage that our equipment has sustained since that teleportation spell. Something is wrong.
Oh no. No. Mikoko is looking down at her outfit and almost on a reflex, she flicks her right arm to flourish the cloak on her back, and nothing happens. Like the cloak is basically just shreds at this point.
Yeah, you look back and it's just like half the cloak is gone.
Oh, can't fix this. Hells.
Fine, I will go along with your river water plan, whatever it is. Let's just go.
I need to find materials to repair this armor. Is my weapon still in usable condition, or?
Yeah, it's still in usable condition, but it's banged up.
Yeah.
Like you
And
start
I'm
like
assuming
checking
I-
it, and like the bear, like the chamber is loose on the gun blade, so you like, I need to tighten that up. The triggers.
And I'm
a
assuming
little,
only
you know,
only one of my munitions is still working, is still active.
yeah, basically the one that was in the barrel.
Yeah.
So you all
How big is your gun?
blade.
Oh, it's a long sword with a gun barrel on it.
So just like a normal, like a revolver gun barrel, or is it like a big chunky barrel?
Yeah, it's like a revolver. It's like a big chunky revolver cylinder, like in where the crossguard would go normally, with
Right.
like
We've all seen the Nerf sword.
with like a pistol grip hilt and a trigger.
Okay.
In a housing.
I wanted to make sure it wasn't like anime huge, like grenade launcher levels of you know.
There is also a gun barrel sticking out of like the bottom edge of his shield, but that barrel seems to be mangled.
Yeah, that barrel is actively not usable. So
Well,
let's
chop, chop.
circle around to a river then.
you navigate away from the entryway, having taken care not to approach close enough that you'd be noticed doing so. Eventually, you find yourselves at one of the outflow rivers, which smells faintly of sewage.
Hmm.
Mm.
And as you head over towards the gate, or towards the wall, you find there is a grated gate where the water is coming from.
Is this the way in then?
If we can get that grate off, but that will likely invoke an amount of noise.
Does this grate show any signs of like a maintenance hatch, a handle, hinges?
Make a perception check.
All right.
I would like to make that
yeah.
check.
Yeah, go ahead.
14
Is it even
for me.
locked?
Yeah,
Is there a lock?
anyone that can make a perception check.
I don't think I can.
20.
So
I mean, I can, I just won't.
So Mikoko, you're looking at it. This is definitely an outflow pipe. Like this is not a maintenance hatch or anything. This is everything flows into the sewer and the sewer flows out here. Cody, it looks like to your eyes Narn, to your eyes it looks like this is like bolted in place, designed to not move. And Faust, you also figure that you'd have to muscle this off. However, unlike the other two, you also notice the old man sitting in just inside of a niche to the right of the grate that you couldn't see on approach, who's just sort of sitting there staring at the group of you with like a hand on his chin.
Who are you? He says to the old man.
Mikoko jumps and immediately hides behind Faust.
The others of you are now brought to the awareness of this. This is a lanky, wiry old man, dark of skin, white of hair, balding a little bit, but wearing very loose and light clothing, the kind of clothing you'd expect of someone who lives in a desert. Just looks up at the group of you. Well, Old Dalen's just a friendly face for the kinds of people that want to get into a city without going through the front door. As he looks up at the group of you.
Well, old Dalen, I take it you're no friend of the Garlean Empire in this city?
Friend, servant, slave, these are all words. Though I do recognize a Garlean when I see one, he says, pointing up at your damaged headband.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm afraid so would other Garleans.
Mm-hmm. So, my friends, what brings your business here to the lovely royal city of Rabanastre?
We seem to have found ourselves a continent misplaced by a teleportation spell.
Ah. Well, where would you be calling home, then?
Eorzea.
Oh. Yeah, no, you're quite a ways away. Well, I guess at least news hasn't come yet of them being conquered by the Garleans, though they've been trying for the past 5 years, so... Well, ever since
The war? How long had the war been going on since I?
2 years-ish.
What became of the Meteor Project?
And he sort of looks at you with like a look of like, what do you mean, on his face. Like, couldn't say that I'm familiar with that name.
The Moon of Dalamud.
Oh. Oh, that big old battle they had at Cartano. Well, apparently some Eorzeans fought off the Garlean army there, managed to destroy the moon before it came all the way down, though of course they were all lost in that fight. This was about he thinks for a second. That's about 5 years ago, though. Why are you asking about that?
Faust just kind of exhales.
Been out in the desert for quite a while. News doesn't make it out that way.
Oh, one of them nomads, I see. Well, if you're looking for shelter, or if you're looking for work, Rabanastre is good to the people that are good to it. Of course, you'll want to stay a little low if you're looking to avoid Garlean entanglement. And he just sort of reaches over and presses a brick in the like a section of the wall that depresses underneath his hand, and the grate rolls aside. Welcome to Rabanastre.
Thank you for the entrance, Faust, as he steps into the grate.
Now watch yourselves in Lowtown. It's not friendly to Garleans as you step through the grate.
I'll make a note to repair my headband.
I rip off my other sleeve. and hand it to Faust.
And Faust,
Faust will willingly... Yes?
Your armor is also distinctly Garlean, even in its destroyed state.
Yeah.
We have no more sleeves to give.
I will, however, take the sleeve and tie it as a headband around the third eye.
So
I'm going to tear off a strip of skirt because I assume the whole thing's basically a write-off anyway.
Yeah.
Just to cover my nose from the smell.
As you begin to walk through you step into the sewer outflow pipe, and yeah, it smells like a sewer outflow pipe. Trying desperately not to think about what you're walking in as you begin to walk through. The grate behind you closes, and you hear old Dalen's voice coming in behind you. Once you make it through Lowtown, look for the Sand Sea. It's a known place for people to lay low and find rooms and work.
Good to know. Thank you for your help.
Don't thank me yet. And you get a distinct feeling that he's not there anymore.
Do you think he gets tired of smelling this the whole day?
I doubt if he spends too long down here that he has any sense of smell left.
That's true. That's true. My cousin was like that. He got ate by a gator once. We got him out like maybe a half a day later, but it was bad. He wouldn't eat fish for like a couple years.
Just gave up on that North Dakota accent, huh?
Yeah. No, I never even started.
Yeah, I mean, alligators and crocodiles in Eorzea are huge. Alligators specifically come from Alamigo, and they are.
They're called alligators.
Yeah, and they are large enough to swallow a. They are large enough to swallow a Rogadine whole. That's not what that says at all.
It's pretty close.
That's Dalmasce.
That's an
or SCA.
That's an. All right, hold on. Spell it while I'm typing. Was it D-E-L?
D-A-L.
Oh God.
M-A-S.
Yeah. That's an S.
Yes, that's an S. C-E. Or sorry, C-A. C-A.
Or A, C-A.
C-A. I do admit the A's do look like an E.
And the S looks like an H.
It does.
But I will forever call that Del Huete.
Del Huete.
Man, I can't wait to see this map.
For those of you playing at home, Elle has some technical difficulties going on.
Just pity.
At some point, I will take the time to go in and write the names legibly over.
No, it's fine. I got him. Don't worry. I'll do them as we get to them.
I can't wait to see the various spellings that just come out.
So,
like I fully expect Doma to come out as comb.
It takes you about you're going to be walking for about 30 minutes in the sewer pipe. So feel free to have any conversations that might naturally take place over a 30-minute walk through a sewer.
I told everyone about my cousin already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep my mouth shut as long as possible. And I pull up the bit of robe that I have left up over the top of my nose.
You do notice that where for most of you the water comes up to your shins, on Mikoko that's up to her chest.
Yeah, Mikoko is not having the best time right now.
Mikoko.
She is holding her pack above her head.
Mikoko, do you want to lift?
She looks up at you and, not wanting to open her mouth, she just nods.
Cool. Palm your head like Shaq palms a basketball and pick you up, put you on my shoulder.
There is an instinctive yelp.
Big Rose.
Now you've got shit on your shoulder.
This is
Narn,
nothing.
Narn can't help but say,
No.
and instantly you taste the smell.
I mean, that's a little rough. We haven't even gotten to know them yet.
Narn is regretting having opened his mouth.
He definitely is.
So
Faust just shakes his head and keeps walking.
do you do anything about your armor while you're walking, Faust?
Probably break it down because I don't think it's even functioning as armor right now, is it?
It's still functioning. You're still getting the AC benefit. It's just a lot of the decorative aspects are broken.
I will just break off the decorative aspects and stow them in a pouch to repair later.
So it's just splash, 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 crunch, splash,
Crack.
splash, splash,
Yeah.
crunch, splash, as Faust is just
Crack, snap, break.
taking,
Hang on one
taking
second.
bits off of his armor.
I'm picturing to get the back bits off, you going full bear Baloo, scratching on the side of the wall.
It's more like Nappa and Chaozu, just to like slam back first into the wall.
Okay.
Cody, you were saying?
Yeah. Who's leading?
That's a good question because it is dark in this tunnel.
Yeah.
Does anyone actually have dark vision?
No.
No.
Of you do.
Of course not. Of course not.
Let's light a torch in this methane infused tunnel. If
Anyone
no one else
have the light cantrip?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, if nobody else is leading, then Naren will be at the front and he'll hum for a second, and on the end of his staff, he'll cast a light, reddish light
This soft
Or a
reddish,
dull red light.
the soft
A
reddish
dull red
glow
light.
appears from the thing, painting the inside of the sewer slightly like everything was painted red when Dalamud was falling. And you continue on.
Then, yep.
Eventually, after about 30 minutes, you find yourselves exiting this sewer pipe. There is what is very clearly a ledge just above your heads. It's about 10 feet up from where you're in this sort of trench. There is a ladder off to one side that would let you climb up, and the sounds of a bustling undercity above you.
Having broken off all the decorative bits, does my armor look significantly less Garlean and more just shitty armor?
It looks more like a Garlean that's been through a blender. There's just certain,
Good enough.
There's just certain design aesthetics that are like you can't get rid of.
Yeah. The scallop, like the layered shoulders.
It's the scalloped torso and the layered shoulders and things like that. Yeah, it's the
Very gothic.
very, very goth Roman. But you managed to you've got the silhouette down now at least, and your cloak was in tatters already, so you just let that go.
Yeah.
But you climb up out of the drainage ditch and into Lowtown.
As the last of us climbs up to the ledge, Mikoko just wait.
Yes.
And she grabs the blue gemstone focus from her hip, shakes off the last of what was left lingering on it from when she got picked out of the sewer, and grabs it in both hands and casts prestidigitation to clean herself off.
You do that? Can you do that for the rest of us, please?
Mm-hmm. She immediately does so.
Thank you.
Oh.
See,
Such a
you
useful
are
spell.
useful.
I forgot I had that cantrip.
So after a few castings of prestidigitation to clean off the gunk and sewage, the brief flashes of blue light coming off the focus has drawn a bit of attention. As you turn to look, there is a small crowd of orphans hanging out on various levels of crate, just sort of looking at the group of you.
What was the name of the place old Dalen said?
The Sand.
It was Sansi.
Sansi. Okay.
Faust will just look at one of the orphans. Do you know the way to the Sansi?
Yeah.
Could you point us in the right direction, please?
For 5 gil.
Oh, look, I don't seem to have any gil on me. Actually, does my 10 gold actually count?
Yeah, your 10 gold is 1,000 gil.
Like 1,000 gil, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everything is technically in gil, but we're tracking it this way for convenience.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will just go ahead and write 1,000 copper on my sheet just so that I can
a gil is
easily track that.
A gil is effectively a copper, but you can track it gold, silver, copper, however you want to do it.
I will flip 5 gil to them.
Takes it, looks at it, bites it. All right, cool.
Why would you bite it? What?
Make sure it's not chocolate.
Do you know what? Fair point.
All right. Hops down off this young Hure looking, dark skin, blonde hair. Follow me. And turns and just takes off down this, what you're determining Lowtown to be repurposed sewer tunnels.
I will follow.
Did the rest of you?
Are they running?
Yeah, they're running.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll run. Absolutely.
Still dark.
It's lighter here. You can see there are
Okay.
places where sunlight falls through, and where sunlight doesn't, you see that there are these large orange crystals sort of situated at doors that emit a soft glow.
Okay.
You follow this individual. They take you down this tunnel, a left, a right, and then you find yourselves in a sort of a sunken down open area where there's light filtering down from above. You can actually faintly hear the sounds of the sounds of traffic and people moving around and talking from above you. The orphan stops and waits for you all to catch up, turns around, spreads hands and sort of gestures. This is the South Sprawl. I'm assuming you're all new since you came in through the back way. You can find there's always some traders over here with some spare bits and bobs, he says, pointing at this sunken down circle in the middle of the South Sprawl area. You can see that there are several tunnels that snake off away in, to left, right, north, and then one that heads south. He points at the one that heads to the south. You can get up to the south gate from over there if you want to. It does take you outside rather than inside, so if you don't want to see any guards, be careful going that way. And then they immediately take off to the north.
Oh yeah, we running.
Was that back the way we came, or
No, you
further into the city?
came based on where they said the south gate was. You actually ended up coming around from the west. So the tunnel that they took you down was west of where you are now.
Right. Sorry, I just wanted to double check that.
Yeah.
I mean, were they running like I'm done, or running like keep following?
Running like keep following.
Okay.
They're not trying to
keep
lose
following.
us. They're
No.
just busy.
They're just trying to get it over with quickly.
I will keep following.
As they
Bring up the
continue to
rear.
the north, you find that there are lots of what look like small shops that have been carved out of the walls here and there. They're basically like various places where you can get food and the like. Where basically there's like a door, a counter, and a room, and nothing else. Like a lot of these shops are just like one room areas where you walk up to them and get the food.
This is a strip mall.
Kind of, yeah. But it's like
Food court strip mall.
It's a strip mall that's been carved out of a sewer system.
Cool.
And you should soon momentarily have in your journal a Lowtown map. It'll be in here.
Oh, good.
So you can actually see sort of roughly where you've been. And I'll pull it up so that the stream can see it. So
I have a complaint to make about this map.
It's very tiny.
The make bigger button.
It
Makes it smaller. It actually makes it smaller.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on getting a bigger version of this for you, but at the moment, this is what I have.
Sure.
So you just came out of the South Sprawl. Where you can see that little jar icon is the center area, and you had just come out of the westernmost area of the South Sprawl there. Now, as they take you north, this orphan sort of shows you the various places where you can snake back and forth across the two main sewer tunnels that the Lowtown occupies. They indicate a few more places where you can find items if you so desire. You can find food basically anywhere, and and then the kid indicates it's kind of shitty food, but it's cheap. Before eventually taking you over to this a staircase that's sort of located at this just above the South Sprawl area. So this staircase will take you up to the east end, and the Sandsea's there. You can, if you just it sort of thinks about it for a second. Follow the shop signs. You'll be able to find them.
Thank you for your help. Faust will start climbing the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Marvelous. Yes, of course. Run along now. I'm sure your parents are very worried where you are.
The child there's a moment of like deep sadness on this kid's face as you say, "I'm sure your parents know where want to know where you are," before they take off.
Come on.
Very tactful, Rowena.
What? I'm sure they would be very worried. I mean, look at this place.
Why do you
Would
think all
be.
of those children are alone in a sprawl?
Trying to hide away from the filth that is their lives.
Because they have no parents.
Mikoko just gives a short sigh through her nose and starts climbing the ladder.
It's actually a proper staircase. But
Oh.
you climb up.
Heads up the stairs then.
Yeah. You climb up, you find at the other end of it there's sort of like a gated door that's very easily opened. And you find yourselves in the city of Rabanastre. So this is an aerial view of Rabanastre.
It's much more green than I thought it would be.
You notice that as you get in. As you step out, the first thing you notice is a wide variety of palm trees and the like. There's a lot of as you look around, you find yourselves in sort of the East End is a fairly sort of narrow strip of buildings, all built up on top of each other. You sort of get a sense that Lowtown may have at one point been a place where people lived properly, but then once the Garlean invasion happened, a lot of people got shunted back down there. You did notice as you were going through Lowtown, there were a lot more of the Banga and those pig-like individuals that you couldn't recognize than there were of humans or of heroes. But as you get up here, almost everyone you see is a Hure. You see a couple of Banga, but not very many, and you see none of the pig people. You do, however, see many Garleans just sort of standing about at various posts in fresh armor that Faust to you looks a little bit more advanced than the armor that you remember. So yeah, definitely some time has passed.
I mean, we were given the 5-year estimate.
Yeah, you were given the 5-year estimate, and you're now having a more visual like understanding of what that means for Garleans at the very least. And I will go ahead and put you on the map of Rabanastre. And I will also put this in a handout, because that way you can have when you're not on this map, you can still see the map.
Uh-huh.
There you go. You'll have the map of Rabanastre in your handouts now. So you are currently at the East End. Right here at the exit. You see ahead of you, having just stepped out of Lowtown, a large blue crystal floating with a couple of concentric golden rings hanging around it, which you all recognize as an aetherite crystal, a small one. This is a local aetherite crystal, as opposed to the big one that goes in the Aetherite Plaza. You also see, standing on either side of it, Garlean troopers that look like they are preventing anybody from touching it.
Of course. Well, let's make our way towards the Sand Sea. See what we can find out about the status of the town.
To the immediate north, you see a sign for Ugri's Magics, and you see a few more people sort of bustling around in that direction. To the immediate south, you see the signs for Panamis's Protectives, Amal's Weaponry, and Miguelo's Sundries. Just following the general path of the crowd, you head north, where you pass by what is that? That's the Baton's Technics, and find two things. One, you find the sign that leads you to the Sand Sea, which is just north of the entrance to Lowtown, and you also see a Moogle just sort of hovering around with a large bag. The problem is, none of you have ever seen Moogles before in your life. You've heard of them. Moogles are these mythical, legendary things that they're like fairies or fae, that people talk about and have talked about, but you've never actually seen one. It's this large, puffy white, looks kind of like a koala, but it's floating. and has 2 teeny tiny bat wings that can't possibly be providing it flight, as well as a long stem that has a big red palm on the end of it. This like a pom pom, but like a singular one. It's wearing a mail cap and carrying a bag that seems to be stuffed with letters, and nobody else but you seems to be able to see it. You're like watching people walk right by it without noticing it, and it's just sort of floating in the midair, going through some of these letters in its bag, flipping through them.
Faust
But
like,
it's
tilts
also-
its head and tilts his head and like stares at it for a second.
But it's also people are walking past in that they just don't see it, or that they see it and you're just like, yeah, that's normal. We're ignoring it.
Like someone almost walks into it, and the Moogle just sort of hovers out of the way and then back into position. Like they cannot, like no one can see it.
Naren is actively staring at it. Just like, what the fuck?
Blunt is gonna go up to it.
It looks up at you. Oh, you can see me, Kupo?
I'm not Kupo.
No, you're not, Kupo.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm Blunt. These are my friends.
Hello, Blunt and friends, Kupo.
No, just friends.
Yes, just friends, Kupo.
Okay.
That seems to be part of its vocal pattern.
Maybe.
Maybe, Kupo.
Would it be polite? Maybe Kupo?
Don't copy it.
Do you have any mail you need delivered?
Oh, I thought you were going to continue. To who?
To whomever. The Moogle mail system is vast and reaches all corners of Heidelin.
So
We guarantee
I
delivery
could
within
send
12
a letter.
hours.
12 out? How?
We're Moogles, Kupo.
So I could send a letter home.
If you want, Kupo.
Could they send one back?
Yeah.
Do you have paper?
No.
Do you know how to spell things?
Depends on the things, Kupo.
Do you know my address?
We can find it, Kupo.
Okay. Does anyone have paper?
Naren
Probably,
still
but
staring.
it's almost certainly destroyed, I say, as I try to check my pack.
Yeah, oh no. Any paper you had's long been disintegrated.
Let's see if we can get anything out of the Sand Sea. And if you need to write a letter, we'll come back.
Well, we're a continent away. They say 12 hours. We send a letter there. They tell whoever teleported us to teleport us back, and then we're back.
The problem
Right?
is I'm pretty certain Louis Swa was also caught in that situation, and it was 5 years ago.
Well, we'll just teleport back 5 years. Like, we're going back.
I don't even know what Louis Swa did.
As you're thinking about it, Blount, you also can't remember the names or faces of any of your relatives.
Oh boy.
Like, you remember you have relatives. You remember
I definitely have a cousin who got ate by that gator.
Yeah, you remember the stories about your relatives, and you remember their relation to you, but you cannot remember their names or their faces.
Out of character, that's very relieving because Rogadin names suck to come up with. But in character, very concerning.
Yeah.
Okay, well, surely you can just send a letter. Even if I don't know who to send it to, we could They find anyone apparently. Wait, is there any mail for me, Kupo?
Please stop.
The Moogle picks up the bag, rummages through it. We have one attempt at collecting a bill, Kupo.
I'm not here. That's not for me.
Wrong blunt of Scotsison.
They hand you the letter.
Oh no!
You've been served.
You've been
We've been
served,
trying
Kupo.
to reach you about your car's warranty.
Looks like it's your
Oh.
fisherman guild's. It's your fisher guild's dues.
Oh, they're gonna kick me out.
This letter is marked 4 years ago.
They're gonna repossess
kicked
my
you out.
net. No. I really
Is there
like
any
this
mail?
net.
Is there any mail for the rest of us? Also, they can't repossess your net if they don't know where you are.
Ooh, that's good thinking.
The Moogle searches through. I've got one letter for a Rowena Brown, Kupo.
Finally, someone who knows who I am.
Oh,
They hand you the letter. It's a notice of firing. You've been fired from your job. 5 years ago, but
Oh, see, this
Ooh.
is obviously some mistake. You must have the other Rowena.
Well, probably because I didn't get fired.
your guild's not really a job. Is the thing.
Yeah, I didn't get fired, did I?
No.
Not yet, anyway.
That's
Out
all
of
I've
a
got.
cannon into the sun.
Towards the moon, like
Someone else got that into the moon.
That's all I've got, though, Kupo.
So, if we did wish to enlist your services, do we have any way of contacting you or any premises to visit?
There are Moogle mailmen all over the place. If you spot one, just come up and talk. You'll notice us by our caps. He says, pointing to the mail cap that he's wearing.
And also by the fact that you're all Moogles.
That too.
Surely, are there Moogle non-mailmen?
Yeah.
And just men, I see.
The Moogle looks over at you. You can't tell if he's confused or not. You also can't tell, like, the Moogles don't seem to have any set gender. So, you have no idea if the term mailman refers to being a man or not.
Oh, no, I just have my own prejudices that I'm leaning on.
Yeah.
All right,
There's
let's
another
go
Moogle in
into
town,
the
too, but
sand.
he's not a mailman.
What is he?
Mont Blanc. He's Mont Blanc.
I'm your what?
Mont Blanc, Kupo.
It's a name.
Mont Blanc.
Cooper.
Mont Blanc, Kupo.
Kupo. Mont Blanc Kupo.
Please
Everyone's got
stop.
3 names around here. I don't understand.
He runs Clan Centurio.
I don't know why, but the image of a J. Jonah Jameson Moogle just popped into my head.
You
Just directing everybody.
All of you know.
I want pictures of the Warriors of Light. Damn it!
All of you know Clan Centurio. Clan Centurio is a hunter clan that's sort of like it's a hunters guild that is basically it's international. Like they have offices all over the place. Apparently, they also have a headquarters in Ravenaster, or did at one point in time.
Oh, okay.
Clan Centurio.
Oh, and here's this. I hand back the firing notice. Please ensure that it gets delivered to the correct person.
It was.
Thank you. No, I don't think so.
Moogle magic.
Wait,
Kupo.
I have paper now. Does anyone have a pen?
Let's get into the sand
there's a ring.
sea, shall we?
There's a ring. While Rowena is trying to hand this letter back, there's a ringing sound. The Moogle pulls out a pocket watch. Up, that's my union break. Bye. Clicks the pocket watch and disappears.
Sorry, no, wait, come back.
Like, doesn't go anywhere. He's just no longer there.
Doesn't want to talk to us no more. That's fine.
I'm worried.
Gone.
I am less entertained by the disappearance than I am by the fact that the Moogle male folk are unionized.
Oh yeah, the Moogle
Pretty-
Elf
I
are
mean-
definitely unionized.
Tell your bosses that
Well,
unions are
that's-
right for you.
Hurry forward before we draw any more of a crowd. And
No one seemed to have noticed that you were
Already
talking
have.
to the Moogle either.
wonderful.
Faust tries to start herding people into the sand sea.
Mikoko does not need herding as there is suddenly a very loud rumble. It's coming from her.
Specifically, her stomach.
Yes.
So you enter the Sand Sea. The Sand Sea is a... Well, I'll just show you. The Sand Sea is a... Wait for it to populate. So many tiles.
Oh, good lord.
There it goes. Boom. The Sand Sea is a fairly well populated tavern. It's got a fairly narrow single story that then leads upstairs to a second story that you can kind of see from the ground, though it's got a rail that obscures an amount of the view. You can see a number of Hyurs Banga and a couple of those pig-like people hanging around in various places. At the bar, behind the bar, there is one Banga and several Hyurs, one of whom seems to be giving instructions to the others, which you would assume to be the proprietor, who sees you enter and gives you a quick look up and down before waving towards you to indicate approaching the bar. And oh my god, Chrome, why do you hate me?
It's Roll20's dynamic lighting.
I mean, you know what you did.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Chrome
You
specifically
didn't put
is
any
lagging
chairs
its
in this
ass off.
bar.
It's I didn't stutter.
Faust
You
will-
put chairs at the bar, but not at the tables. Standing room only, huh?
There are chairs around
Man,
the
this is a
tables. I just
popular
didn't.
joint.
There are chairs around the tables. I just didn't put any of them on the map because you can move them around.
I mean, they're fairly proactive about their social distancing.
I occupy a 5-foot square and will take opportunity attacks if threatened.
Shift. Yes, Faust and presumably others will approach the bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mikoko is hot on Faust's heels.
Yeah, a bar is a great place to approach.
Also, where did Rowena go? Oh,
Down there still.
there she is. She's the only one whose name I can't see.
You want to give one of us control over that token? We can herd it around for them.
Oh yeah, I should probably grab it and send it, shouldn't I?
No, just, you know.
But wow. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna have to
Yes.
use a different browser for the Observer because Chrome does not like this.
Oh
right,
yeah, like
you're running two of them at
Firefox is
once.
gonna be so much better.
It does.
Google,
Like,
really?
Firefox is much smoother than Chrome is, and as far as Roll20 is concerned. Like,
Today I learned.
Yeah, like
Like-
the last time I used Firefox for anything was 2013, maybe.
like right now, I'm also using Edge for my GM stuff, and it's way smoother.
Wow.
I mean, Edge is basically Chrome, but with less intensive processors.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. But I fixed it so that everybody can be seen now. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you approach the bar, and this individual, this blonde-haired, dark-skinned here at the bar, sort of leans over it. Welcome to the Sand Sea. I'm Dalmascian, the proprietor. How can I help you?
We're looking for a place to stay to get our bearings. We're also told that you might have information and potentially work.
Yeah, well, if you're not with Clan Centurio, we do have a work board. He says he points over at the far wall behind you where there's like a post board that has a bunch of different flyers on it. You can see some, like, there are obviously things like, merchants or civilians or people putting up job postings for others. Chrome, I deselected Rowena. Please also deselect Rowena.
Oh, right, how it just leaves the bubbles there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it still is, and it won't let...
Selecting another token generally fixes it.
I got it fixed.
Cool.
Yeah, you can see that there is
I was so close.
Tomash. You can see that there's like a work board on the other side near the fireplace. We do have some rooms here. If you're looking to stay, sort of looks over the group, sort of counts up over the group of you. 5 rooms.
Yes.
How much? What are your rates?
100 gil a night for the room.
Each?
Yep, for each room.
Now, evidently you are unfamiliar with my prowess, but I am a dancer of some renown. Perhaps I could perform for my way through.
Looks over at you. Looks at your tattered clothes and disheveled hair. We're good.
Faust puts down 100 gil.
Just while we're at the bar, quickly, I scan the room and see if anybody's taken particular note and is keeping an eye on us while we walked in.
They make a perception check.
All right. 14. I can't apparently roll anything higher than I have 2 numbers, 14 and 18. That's all I can roll.
So the first thing you notice is that there are no Garleans in this bar aside from Faust. Well, strikes you as odd because they're doing the occupation.
Yep.
The second thing you notice is that there seems to be a trio of individuals on the upper level sitting at a table that's right alongside the rail. You can't see them on the map right now, but the character could see them. One of them is a brown-haired human, looks like a Midlander, wearing like sort of golden armor with a red tabard. He's just sort of like leaning against the rail, looking at the group of you. But you can't tell if it's because you have caught his interest specifically or because you're new. Because the group of you do stand out.
Can I make an insight check to see if it's curiosity or...
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Hey, 15.
It definitely seems like it's measuring up the newcomers' kind of attention more than anything else.
And do you happen to know where one might be able to procure materials and the use of facilities to repair equipment?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for armor and weapons, you could try, talking to Panamis, just south side of East End, for Panamis's Protectives. Get you, that Sikh has a lot of materials, and he'll get you what you need. Aside from that, Amal's weaponry is also over there, just next to Panamis's, and he's got a good selection of weapons if you're looking at procuring something to defend yourself with. And if all else fails, you can try Miguelo's Sundries or talk to the Clan Centurio folks. They might have some stuff.
Thank you for the information.
And sorry, Asik, is that a name or?
Sikh? Oh, you don't know what Sikh are?
I'm very well aware, but for my friends here.
Oh no, I have no clue.
He sort of points over your shoulder.
See?
He sort of points over your shoulders to the pig-like feet people. It's like, those are Sikhs. It's like, you're a Hura, you're a Rogadine, you're an Aura, and you're a Garlean, he says, pointing at Faust.
He just kind of raises an eyebrow.
It's the hair.
Fair enough.
Look, I don't ask any questions. Well, I ask questions, just not the ones that you're going to answer. But as long as you don't bring any trouble into my bar, you're fine.
I intend to bring none. I can't say whether it will follow me.
Well, as long as you don't bring it, that's fine.
And as for rooms, I believe I will be sharing with my good friend here, Mika.
Boy.
You'll have to try harder than that, Rowena. At least get her name right.
Mikoko jumps. Oh, what?
We're sharing a room, dear. Now, how are you paying the man?
Well, right now you're all sharing one room, he says as he takes the 100 gil off the table and produces one key.
Oh,
Faust
neat, good.
Faust takes the one key.
Oh.
I've paid for my room. The rest of you can pay for your own if you like.
Yes, I put down 100 gil as well.
Reaches over, swipes it, hands you a key.
Same.
Thank you.
Begrudgingly.
Swipes it, hands you a key.
See? Hurry up, dear.
Sorry, one sec.
Mikoko, if you need to share a room, you can share it with me if you like.
Mikoko rummages through her pack looking for where she keeps her money. Eventually finds it. Puts down 100 gil.
You are given a key.
And then she looks directly at Rowena and shakes her head.
I'm sorry?
I believe she made her intentions clear.
I mean, that could just be an itch or something.
Get your own room, Rowena. That's fine.
Folded arms, eyes narrowed, shakes head again, deliberate.
Very clear.
Oh, please. I mean, how else are we supposed to get to know one another?
Mikoko's eyes narrow further.
You are supposed to be perhaps accommodating and respectful. For instance, remembering someone's name.
Oh, I hardly think that's a fair deal. That Frank.
Try again, Faust says. He leaves the building to try and go and find the blacksmith.
I put down 100 gil, but annoyed, like just sort of slam it, just at the bartender. It's like, you won't have heard the last of this.
He hands you a key. I was listening to the first of it. Now,
I can't tell if we're adventuring with a Karen or with an Instagram influencer.
Yes.
As Faust heads out. Now, who wants food?
I want food.
I'll take
Mikoko
some.
immediately turns her attention to Tomage. Yes.
Even though I gave everybody good berries and we're technically good for the day.
Well, no one ate them, though.
I am a big
Oh, no,
boy,
Faust
and I need...
would have eaten his.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I dropped mine in the desert just because it's like, ew.
Who the fuck just carries grapes?
Loose pocket grapes? Gross.
You all look
Like it's.
You all look like you've had a rough time, so this will be on the house. As he just produces from behind the counter plate after plate after plate of food.
My man.
It is
Somewhere in the desert, there's a single good berry next to a scrap of road.
Oh no, that good berry is long gone. Something ate it already.
Felt very good about the exchange too.
Yeah. These are plates of meat and bread and cheese and wine, glasses of wine, which just gets laid out in front of you. A slightly smaller portion for Arena, a slightly larger portion for Miko.
Mikoko demolishes the first plate. And then just looks at Tomaj again.
He just sort of
I
he tosses you an apple. First plate's free, not a second one.
All right.
I imagine I will have some great difficulty with the flavor.
Oh.
It's like what?
Sorry, Naren just slid away from Rowena.
Oh.
But it's like what is the quality of wine that I'm used to in comparison?
You're used to fairly good wine. Ul'dah imports a lot of wine from Lanuska. So, and they tend to have very, very good wine. You sort of look at this sort of darker red that's in that glass. I mean, it smells okay. Then again, you just came out of a sewer, so everything smells better than that.
Mm.
Yeah, prestidigitation can't fix everything.
I mean, it certainly pulls a lot more weight than people expect. Yeah, so I'll like pick at it a bit enough to sort of seem polite and just go, "Thank you, I'm full," and I guess pass it down the line.
Blood will take your plate and divide it evenly between the rest of us. More potatoes.
So just you and Makoko?
Yes.
Yep, works for me.
While he's eating, he's not going to drink any of the wine. He'll take water though. He's just going to try to eavesdrop on conversations. Now that the initial shock of the new people.
Sure, make a perception check. Do you get advantage on this for your horns?
Let me check.
I believe that just gives proficiency.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just gives me proficiency perception.
Okay.
19.
Hey, you can roll something other than a 14 and 18.
Yep.
So yeah, most
Not
of the,
anymore.
Most of the conversation that you hear is just general tavern talk. People dissatisfied with Garlean occupation. They're here to they come here to vent where there are no Garleans.
Yeah.
You do hear, and sort of a softer conversation from the rail, the second story area.
Up above.
Yeah, from up above. You do hear snippets of a conversation up there, and none of it's really familiar with you, but you do pick out the word scions, which rings a bell to you, and you don't know why. You're pretty certain it's related to Faust, though, who obviously is not here right now. So,
yeah.
Speaking of Faust, you exit Sansi and you head south. You find yourself in Panamis's protectives, where you find Panamis, who is a Seek, Seeq. That is the large pig people. Who's behind, perfectly happy to provide you with materials provided you have the gil. So
how much gil would I need to repair my armor and weapons?
Yeah, so to repair your armor and weapons back to workable order, you'd need about 100 gil worth of materials.
We'll pay for that.
Yep. So yeah, you pay 100. You pay 100 gil worth of materials. You get it. You have them in a bag. They give you the bag complimentary.
Can I request the use of just the environment? I have smith's tools, but just the smithing environment would be helpful too.
Yeah.
performing repairs.
Yeah, they anybody that's skilled with Smith's tools, they'll let use their facilities.
So I will take the time to try and repair my gear.
Give me a Smith's tools check with Smith's tools
Strength or dex?
Smith's tools checks with either strength or con.
I go with strength.
It's just like a gym membership where it's really easy to sign up and you're now a part of the gym, but
God.
good luck trying to cancel.
Oh, it's perfectly average though. So
yeah, 10. You get some work done. It'll take you a couple days to repair all this damage, though.
it's the perfectly synced. Just tap tap tap.
Yeah.
Something gets repaired.
But yeah, so you're doing that's gonna take you 2 hours.
After getting a bit of work done, I'll return to rest.
So back. Meanwhile, Naren. Yeah. So you overhear something about scions coming from that conversation up top.
Okay. After I finish cleaning off my plate, job board is over here.
Yeah, it's just to the
by
south.
the fireplace.
Yeah, down by the fireplace.
Yeah, by the south fireplace down here.
Yeah.
This way.
So you go check on the job board.
Okay.
Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'll go check it.
Yeah.
Job board.
There's a couple of different like manual labor jobs listed there. But one that draws your attention primarily, there's an extermination request. Apparently, there's a caravan coming through the Easter Sand, which is the eastern section of desert around Ravenastor, that has been routinely been coming under attack by wolves, and they're looking for somebody to exterminate the wolves in the area. Pays 5,000 gil.
Ooh.
Contact.
Yeah. It actually says talk to Tomage.
Okay. After I read through, why did I add an extra A? After I read through all the jobs, he'll walk back up and sit back next to Rowena. How'd everybody enjoy their food?
It's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what you call that thing with the snails, but I thought it was tasty.
I call it food.
Yeah.
It's a Doman delicacy.
It was food by strict definition.
Escargot is a delicacy from Doma,
Oh.
as was the sushi. I spent
Well,
my
I mean,
youth
sushi is sushi.
I spent my youth traveling around, learning recipes from all over.
Sounds interesting. You had a poster down by the fireplace. Some wolves troubling the eastern edges.
Yeah. Merchants come through me all the time to put requests up, and they use me as a go-between for hiring folks like you. Willing to pay 5,000 gil for somebody to go clear out the wolves in the Easter Sand that are currently, attacking the trade routes and everything. Our occupiers tend to not use ground-based air transportation, as it were, so they don't ever worry about and thus don't ever clear the trade routes. So less wealthy merchants tend to have to rely on folks like you. If you're interested.
We're probably going to be here for a while, so we'll at least talk it over.
Yeah, well, if you're interested, let me know. I'll sign you
Once
up.
our friend gets back.
We'll say it's roughly at that point. You guys have spent a while eating. That Faust comes back in, looking no better than he did before.
Progress was made.
Progress was made, just not on your armor.
Yeah. I've got materials now, but it'll be a few days before I can get everything back into full working order.
Where did you come from?
Who, me?
Yes, you were just here.
I came back from the nearest smith.
Why?
Because this is where our rooms will be for the night.
No, I mean, why did you need to leave at all?
To get materials to repair my armor and weaponry.
Did you accomplish this?
Yes, but repairs take time.
The
Oh, well, I was
patience that
going to
Faust
say,
is
it doesn't-
showing right now.
Doesn't quite look like you managed to do much, but okay,
That's because the things that I have managed to do is get the gun barrel on my sword in working order.
Well, I suppose you have your priorities, I guess.
Tamaj looks over your armor. I mean, it might just be worth it to do some jobs, get some more gil, and buy some new equipment.
You really want us to do this, don't you, Damaj?
No, I mean...
What do you have against wolves?
There are lots of jobs up there. I don't have anything personally against wolves. These are merchants' caravans.
What's this about this job?
Yes.
Supposed to
Tamaj
kill
hates
some
wolves,
merchants
and
for
he
some
wants us
wolves
to
or
kill
something.
Yeah.
One person at a time, please.
I believe that we have to kill some merchants for some wolves.
Yes,
I look over at Naren.
Who is patiently waiting for everybody to just finish their explanations. There's the Eastern Sands. Merchants are being waylaid by wolves.
Good. That would
And
probably be a
there's-
good way to test our prowess again after we've lost so much.
Cody, you...
That or it could pay for our way back.
Potentially. I've got no objections, so...
Tamaj,
Yep.
say I didn't want to walk through a smelly river to get in and out of your real nice city. Is there a better way in and out?
So it looks at the group of you. Well, we can get you a merchant pass that'll get you through the gates without having to deal with the customs too much.
That would be appreciated.
Okay.
How would we get one of those?
Well, Miguelo would be the person you want to talk to. If you get in good with Miguelo and you do him some favors, you could definitely get yourselves a pass that'll get you through the gates easier. You're going to want to, it indicates to Faust, fix up your armor a little bit so you look a little bit less conspicuous, but that might be a way to do it. Alternatively, Clan Centurio has hunt passes. If you sign up with them, they can get you through the gates too.
What's a hunt pass?
Clan Centurio are hunters. They go out, deal with bigger marks than what we get on our board.
Oh, okay.
And because they deal with larger pests that even would threaten the Empire, they get a few more services to their hunters than we do than normal people get.
That makes sense.
Considering our professions, it seems like Clan Centurio would be our better option.
Yeah, it used to be.
Well, I don't know. Who's Miguelo?
Miguelo, he's a Banga that runs a sundries shop down south end of East End.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll have to stop in and pick up a pen or two, so that'll be perfect. We'll talk to him then.
Fair.
Yeah.
Anything else of interest? I ask, looking at Naren.
Not right. Not that we have to speak of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we used to have an adventurers guild in town, but once the Garleans occupied, that was one of the first things they abolished. So try not to wave your adventuring flag too hard around any of the lictum.
It is always the first thing that they try and stamp out whenever they conquer a city.
Mikoko's expression turns hard for a few moments.
Would Magillo's be where I'd be able to pick up new clothes? He gestures at his ripped and tattered self.
Yeah, Magello's would be a good place to get clothes if you're looking for that.
All right.
Yes, fabric. Good.
How do we proof of wolf kill? What's your favorite bit?
Bring back the pelts.
The entire pelts?
I mean, as much of it as you can carve off.
Okay, no, the entire pelt.
I'm not expecting like for clothing quality pelts here. Just proof. I mean,
that's why I asked, because I can skin a wolf if you want me to skin a wolf.
If you bring back,
they're heavy.
They're
so heavy.
If you bring back enough intact pelts, that might be a bonus.
Are you sure you wouldn't prefer some of the meat to replenish what we've partaken of?
Oh no, wolf meat's real bad. You don't want to eat
it. Wait, you've never had good wolf meat. Let me tell you what. My buddy of mine, way back, he used to kill wolves while they're asleep.
These are not the wolves you're used to in Aldenard.
Oh, these are stringier, gamier wolves.
A bit more angry too.
What was that was in our food then, if not wolf?
Well, those were snails, and those were sushis.
Chicken.
Fish, for the most part,
Fish
and chicken.
In a desert, really?
You may have noticed that the town itself is rather more vibrant than the desert around it.
Yeah.
Sorry, who are you again?
The person who you're going to be hiding behind when we start battling wolves, so you do well to learn a name.
No, probably not. Anyway.
Unbelievable. Mikoko hops down from the stool she's been standing on the whole time. It's the only way she could get over the counter.
It's a good image.
I'll go to Miguelo's for supplies.
Yep.
Thank you,
Sounds
Mikoko.
good to me.
Please
inquire while you're there.
I'll accompany you.
Okay.
I have to get a pen.
I believe I shall as well.
So we're all just going to leave Faust here now?
If we're all going, then...
I glare at Rowena.
Well, funnily enough, I glare at Rowena is an accurate term of things that happens even with the other Rowena. So, you head out of the Sand Sea and head south towards Miguelo's Sundries. It's the jar there on the southern end of the map. Southern end of the...
This one here?
Yeah, that one right there. Yep. You head inside, and it's a fairly packed sort of place. Lots of shelves with all manner of items aboard, including things like potions and other materials that you might need for your day to day. Let me pull up the list of things that they have in stock if you are so interested.
So just to be clear, the traveler's clothes I have are tattered and moth-eaten and all that jazz, like 5 years of wear and tear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're able to get repair equipment for you're able to like basically trade the stuff you have for repairable things for all the gear that you've got. So you don't need to worry about spending
Cool.
money to get your starting gear back.
Okay.
Williams,
Including the 10 days of rations.
not including including the 10 days of rations. Yeah, that was basically what was given to you by Tomaj.
Re-adds 10 days of food rations to my inventory. I deleted those when you told me they would dust.
I don't know. I was thinking mine would turn into jerky. Nice fish jerky.
Even
5-year-old
jerky can turn to
jerky?
dust.
Mmm. Yeah, it's called pemmican.
But yeah, so you can get any sort of other supplies you can get fairly easily and cheaply here at the Sundries. So you get the cloth that you need to repair your clothes. You get the kits to refill your various toolkits.
Repair? Are you kidding? I'm making new stuff.
And you find Miguelo. Miguelo is a much older looking blue skinned Banga, wearing very very refined clothes. Seems to be a fairly well off merchant who looks over the group of you. So, what can I help you with? Is there something specific you need other than the supplies you're acquiring?
Well, a merchant's pass to make it through the gate without too much suspicion would be nice.
Ah, so you're looking to travel through our lovely town without being harassed every time you do. I understand. Of course, you understand that these are things that cannot be given out, simply to anyone. They are things that require earning, as it were.
And what sort of task would you ask to earn these?
Well, I, being a merchant, always have need of strong, sturdy hands and bodies to operate a variety of tasks that I need done throughout the city on any given day. It would, couple of days worth of manual labor would certainly be enough for me to incentivize me to provide you with such a pass.
I look at the rest of the group. I look at Rowena in specific.
What?
Well, I think you'll have to rely on the strength of my back for most of it, and perhaps as
Hang
well
on.
my companions. Blount seems well acquainted to it.
Now we are a
Can't be worse than pulling sheets.
we are a work of your own brow kind of folk here in the city. So I can only provide passes to those that actually do the work.
I look over at Rowena. Well, sounds like you're going to have to get your hands dirty.
Sure. We'll see about that.
But if you're interested, I do have a task that requires a group of individuals very similar to yourselves right now.
What kind of task?
I've got a warehouse in Lowtown where I store a lot of my larger, bulkier supplies, and also a lot of my sundries. Unfortunately, it's attached to a location that is very easily accessible for lively rodents of unusual varieties, and I could use
I don't
some
believe
rat
they
killers.
exist.
If nothing else, there'll be a good test to make sure that my weapon is back in working order.
You don't want any pelts, do you?
No.
Don't make
I've
me
got,
skin a rat.
I've got eyes and ears at my warehouse at all times. They'll be able to tell me that you successfully dealt with the rats.
Do you know how hard it is to do the toes? It's such a pain.
I wouldn't have any idea.
Give us
my
a
good
look.
friend.
Give us a location and we'll get the job done.
Head down into Lowtown. You'll find the warehouse on the western side of the North Sprawl. It's easy enough to find. Just ask around. Look for the sign.
Good.
Do you
I
have a key you
guess-
could lend us, so we don't have to break into your warehouse?
No, the key is waiting for you at the door. Just tell them that I sent you to deal with the rat problem.
Okay.
Very well.
Would you like any
Now,
supplies?
let's get
Would
this
you like to
done.
buy any supplies before you head out? Potions, antidotes, eye drops.
What sort of potions do you have?
Healing potions. Only the smallest variety at the moment, unfortunately. Our stock is largely occupied whenever the Guardians come and knock in, but I do happen to squirrel away a few for potential customers.
How much?
What price?
What does that mean?
What does what mean?
What is customers in air quotes? Are we not buying them? What is happening?
He didn't put air quotes around it. He just said it in a weird way. You get
If
Okay.
put an ellipses in
you,
front of
you
it.
get you get the idea that this Bengal has a deviated septum and though has to it thus has a weird method of talking.
He
Okay,
also
so-
learned from the Shatner school.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's not coming off as sleazy. It's just a natural phenomenon for him.
No, he definitely has a very nasally voice that requires a specific brand of talking.
Okay, good.
The Shatner school of delivery.
I have
the
rodents
these
of unusual size.
the potions are 70 gil. The antidotes are 50, and the eye drops are also 50.
What are the eye drops?
Oh, the eye drops help if you get blinded by anything.
Is that a thing here?
Oh, yes.
I've never really.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
You get a certain amount of
I'll-
sewage in your
I'll-
eyes, and you'll just never see again without these handy dandy eye drops.
Oh, that makes so much
That-
sense. I will take
yes.
2, please.
You get 2 eye drops. Eye drops they are
I'll take-
Was it 50?
50
50 each?
gil for the eye drops.
Yeah. Okay.
Also 50 gil for the antidote and 70 gil for the potion.
I'm willing to share eye drops if someone else is going to pick up some antidote.
I'll pick up a few potions.
Yes, I was gonna pick up 3 potions and 2 eye drops.
Right. So these are not standard healing potions that you're used to in D&D. These potions only heal a D4. They do not add any additional to it.
Oofty goofty.
That's why
That's
they're
rough.
that's why they're 7 silver instead of 50 gold.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I will.
They're
I will.
espresso shots of healing.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will get 4 of them.
Well, in Miko, that's a whole potion, isn't it?
The antidotes.
How much were they? 75 each?
70
each.
gil for each potion. The
Okay.
eye drops. So yeah, the eye drops are one use consumables. If you one use of them will remove the blinded condition. So long as it is a condition that can be removed. Unlike like if you're in darkness, if you're blinded because you're in darkness, something that doesn't work. But if something inflicts
Yeah.
blindness on you,
Yeah, it just gives you eye shines.
yeah. Antidote will let you re-roll.
Same thing for poison.
Well, it'll let you re-roll a con save for a poison check. Like at any point in time, rather than when it dictates. Bonus action to use.
Oh, interesting.
Bonus action to use both of those. So like you can bonus action to drink an antidote, re-roll your con check, and potentially succeed before you make your attack or something like that. And yeah, the potions. These are minor potions. They heal 1d4.
Also known as cheap potions.
Yeah.
Just gonna write. Well, cheap is a more PG-13 way to write what I was gonna write.
Now, good sir, you might notice that my garment has become a bit combobulated. Do you have anything to replace or repair it with?
Yeah, you're able to get your clothing fixed.
Meanwhile, Mikoko, bringing Blount in tow with several bolts of fabric.
Because I would be looking at purchasing a set of fine clothes.
Oh, so yeah, if you wanted to upgrade to better clothes, in that case, yes. They do have some fine clothes that you can buy. Let me take a look.
If I recall correctly, fine clothes ain't cheap.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, they're like-
we do indeed have some very fine clothes. If you'd like some, they will be 1,500 gil.
Now, surely a person of your refinement can see that we're in a bit of a situation. Perhaps some bargaining might be more at your speed.
So I've been working in this city for more years than you've been alive, and let me tell you, you don't get to make money by allowing adventurers to come in and bargain you out of your more expensive items.
Well, of course, but who ever said anything about adventurers? Last I heard, they were illegal.
And last I heard, I was a rabbit. You can make a persuasion check if you want.
11.
So yeah, that'll be 1,500.
That's the response you get.
Suddenly turns into a rabbit.
So that's 15 gold would be the translation price.
Yeah. How much just to repair the ones I have?
Well, your friend over there looks like she's got all the materials you might need for that. Pointing at Mikoko.
Oh,
Friend
but
is a strong word.
if I wish to entrust them to your care.
Oh well, if you wish to entrust it in my care, we'll say I'll do it as a favor for dealing with the rats.
Excellent. Here is 1 set of common clothes, 3 sets of costume clothes, and I believe I shall keep my fine clothes to myself because, I usually charge for that kind of thing.
Of course. He takes the clothes and begins repairing them. He's very
Now,
deft.
be very, very careful with this one. It is Uldanian silk. Very hard to find, very delicate.
Oh yes, I can tell the cheap stuff.
No, this one. Not this one. This one.
I've been to Ul'dah before. Trust me, this is not Uldanian silk.
You must be mistaken. Everyone here is just. Must be the heat.
Ul'dah, not known for its cool climate. So,
Did anyone buy any antidotes?
Nope.
I will get 2 antidotes.
all right, you get 2 antidotes.
I will share my eye drops with you.
And own them. Now,
I got enough for each eye.
now, definitely be careful when you're down there. Those rats are known to blind.
Good, we might need those eye drops then.
All right, well,
Kind of
what? What was that, Sam?
spitting rats? They're gonna hawk a loogie in your eye or something?
That's
I
the
don't-
least of the problems you might have.
I'm sure most of it will be the smell. Come on, let's go.
So,
Let's get to work.
you all head back down to Lowtown. Cross over the North Sprawl to the east side of Lowtown, and find your way over to what is very obviously a warehouse. You actually passed it by, and they were pointed out very quickly by the orphan that was guiding you around, but it wasn't important at the time, so you didn't pay too much attention to it. It is what is very clearly a frame that has been built into a passageway in order to block off another section of the sewers that the Lowtowns inhabit. And so, and sitting outside of it, there is an older looking orphan lad, but not, still not very old. Shoulder length brown hair, brown eyes, wearing sort of patchwork yellow and brown clothes. Fairly nice for being in Lowtown, but still obviously of Lowtown. He just sort of hands in his pockets while he's waiting around, kicking dirt, and then sees the group of you show up. Oh, so you must be the people Miguelo hired, right?
Yes,
be.
we're here to deal with
What's
the
it to
rat
you?
problem.
Is that what his name was?
He sort of looks.
Faust sucks his teeth for a second.
He looks up at the 3 different responses that he gets. Right, I'm Kites. Nice to
Yeah.
meet you. Reaches over,
Good to meet you.
pulls a key out of his pocket, unlocks the door, opens it up. All right, right-hand staircase. And as you look in, you see there are just boxes and boxes of materials and things stacked on top of stacked throughout this room. And the left and right-hand side, you see 2 gated-off staircases that go down.
Is the right-hand gate open?
No, but it's not locked, so you can open it.
Okay. So Faust pulls his shield and long sword, opens the gate, and heads down.
All right. Do the rest of you follow after Faust?
Yep.
Yep.
Mikoko tucks
Yep.
something under her shirt, pulls the rapier into gemstone, and follows shortly after.
I'll pull up the rear so I can watch to see where not to step if need be.
As the group of you get
following.
As the group of you get into the stairs, you hear the of the gate closing behind you, which is followed then by a of the gate locking.
Oh, good.
Huh.
Lovely.
So obviously the code word out is to bang on the door and say, oh God, please let us out.
And you head down the stairs. You eventually find yourselves in a large underground, I think cistern is the correct term.
Yeah, that
Gathering
tracks.
the water.
Yes,
Yeah,
well,
well-
This is definitely not a sewer cistern either. This is, as you're looking around, this seems to be part of some sort of waterway, some sort of ancient waterway beneath the city, where clean water is just sort of flowing through and past and pooling underneath and around a stone platform that you're sort of coming down onto. You see that there are a number of additional, larger supply crates here, the kind of thing that might be moved along the waterway rather than up through Lowtown. And several of them seem to have broken aspects to them, like something large just sort of ripped a chunk out of the side and made off with whatever was inside. There are also definitely rat droppings scattered about, though the size of the rat droppings concerns you.
Yeah, are we talking fist, forearm, or Mikoko?
Small dog.
Oh no.
So Mikoko.
So, Mikoko.
Well then. And it's dark down here?
There is some amount of light. Just
Okay.
seems like there's some ambient light coming through wherever the water's flowing from.
All right.
So
I'm gonna pull out my dagger and cast that same dull red light on the blade and then sheath it.
All right. So you're in a supply room filled with signs of rat activity, but no clear signs of rats. What do you do?
Faust
Look for
will,
where they're coming in.
yeah, try and find rat holes.
Right.
Call out, hello, rats!
Give me survival checks.
Oh boy, not good at those.
I can do that.
I
can do that.
Looking for rat holes.
23.
Hey, I got a 14. My -1 survival.
You did better than Eldon
Eight.
with a +2.
Or me, also with a +2.
So you're looking around. So yeah, you're looking around for a variety of, around the room, trying to figure out exactly where these rats are coming from. And there's lots of signs of rat activity all over the place, but there's no clear indications of where they're coming through. Naren, you're sort of thinking outside the box because you're from a different area from the rest of these people, and trying to figure out, what if it was on the steppe, where would these rats be coming from, kind of thing. And you get to looking around the waterway. And as you go up to where the waterway is flowing past, almost like a river, you look to the left, and you see what can only be described as a pirate raft or
I thought you were going to say pirate rat, and I was
A
going to be like, what the
pirate-
fuck did we just sign up for?
a pirate flotilla almost, as a number of small rafts lashed together with sails and skulls and crossbones come floating down the river. And on these small rafts are giant rats, one of which has a pirate hat, eye patch, and a claw in place of and like a hook in place of a claw.
It was pirate rats.
It was pirate rats. Not at all.
Now, are these pirate rats or rat pirates?
They're pirates.
Very
Boo.
fun.
This is exactly a Final Fantasy thing. I would not be surprised if you told me this is an actual quest in this city.
Well, see, now I know how they blind people. It's with their hook hands.
So Narin, you see this coming down the river. What do?
I offer a quick prayer to the elements, and stone fist the closest fucking rat.
Well,
as it floats past.
they're still coming at you. They're not quite in range yet.
Okay, I'll just turn back and say, "Found him," and then I'll back up.
Faust turns and takes the front line
So
as the pirates
group
come
of you
coming.
turn and look to where Narin is calling, you see the rest of you see this flotilla coming into view and heading towards the platform you're standing on. These massive pirates heading towards you.
But why?
Why not?
Just shut up and get ready.
And as you prepare for battle, that is where we're going to end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Hey.
Hello!
Ah, that hurt. Ow.
That blew out a little bit.
Ow.
Sorry.
Goodbye.